Alexa, share.
Also, I just want to add to one of the things that Tony mentioned earlier is that the spontaneousness of is that the right word?
Spontaneity.
That bit where you said that joke had a bigger laugh last time. That,
Right.
That was your most. You got the biggest laughter from that,
Right.
and that was sort of like a joke in the moment. And I think if that doesn't sell mindful meditation, being in the moment, then well, that's really good.
Cheers. Thank you. Anyone else? No? Can I just make one small wish? It's incredibly small. Would be just a little. I appreciate it's mindfulness. I appreciate it was kind of a reflective space that you kind of created. But just the slightest bit of vocal variety for me would have made it even richer still.
Yeah.
But by far your best speech, honestly. Absolutely brilliant.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Do you want to say one thing, Stella?
Yeah, it's just about the vocal variety, but I've mentioned it before. Just for the example, in the moment that you talk about the ribs, I remember that when you say it the first time that you got the biggest laugh, you were kind of frustrated, like he was even eating ribs.
Okay.
So of course you say, well, and he was even eating ribs, like he doesn't get it. But maybe if you show how you were annoyed or frustrated, because even, I mean, you were talking about your feelings at that point. It's not even like in general. That could enrich it a lot, just by doing those little twists and moments that express how you feel, how you felt.
Yeah.
Thank you. But yeah, well done.
Are you okay to
Should I go again?
You want to go again?
Yeah.
Okay. Yay.
Without the glasses this time, I'm short-sighted, so I can't see the fear now. I got a deck of cards. This will be probably wondering why I have them in my hands. Sort of irrelevant at the moment, but they'll come to a relevance for my conclusion. So just as a show of hands, or actually stand up for this. No, sit down for now. Stand up if you would like to improve, or ever thought about in the past, to improve your health and well-being, fitness.
Can I jump?
I was not expecting that. Out of all of you standing, which is 100%, I'm quite amazed. How many of you has actually written a goal down for fitness, for healthy eating, for just being healthy?
Shall I sit down if I have?
Sit down if you have. Stay standing up if you haven't. I confused myself.
If you have,
Stay standing up if you have written a goal down. 2. 2 out of 2, 4, 6, 8. I'm one of them myself. I've written a goals in the past. So yeah, you can sit down. Thank you. So around 2 out of 4, 6, 7, maybe 15%, I'd say. Due to some like social peer pressure here, I expect the numbers in the real world will be slightly lower. So what I want to talk about today is fitness. So Anthony Robbins talks about this all the time, is that there's 6 human needs. One of them being health and well-being, second being love and relationships, third being sort of your happiness, third being monetary, and you've got your spirituality there, and contribution. So what I'm passionate about is fitness, sort of just to give you a sort of like brief history of what I've done, I walked 40 miles in a day for a charity walk. That took me from, I think, 6 a.m. in the morning to like 12 o'clock at midnight. I did a sustained period of time last year where I consistently went to the gym for a 6-month period, and started reading a book a day since the 4th of April. So when it comes to sort of like not only setting a goal, but like sustaining it over a period of time, I feel like I've got a few things to share. So when it comes to health and well-being then, there's sort of 4 main factors that play a role in that. First being your food, which is very important. Counting calories, finding out what your caloric intake is. So to find that out, you would find out what your body weight is in pounds. You want to weigh yourself sort of in the morning before you've eaten anything, before you've gone to the toilet, before you've eaten anything, before you've had a shower, because that will make you way heavier. Times your body weight in pounds times 11. That will get you to your resting calories. How much you need, how many calories you need just to sustain like being rested. So get your to allow your body functions to keep them functioning, like your heart pumping, your skin cells to keep dividing and whatnot. So once you've found out your resting calories, you want to add to that your daily moving calories, how much you move in a given day. For everyone it's different, and obviously your genetic metabolic rate. Some people have a slow metabolism, some people have a medium, some people are quite fast. I tend to be quite fast in the metabolism sort of spectrum, and also your age plays a part in this. Your sex, obviously, whether you're male or female. So if I had like a chart here, I could show you how we worked it out. Basically, for me, I weighed myself this morning. It's weird. It's kind of depressing, really. Like last year, sort of when I did Tough Mudder in October, I was 168 pounds, believe it or not. Today, I weighed myself, and I'm 146 pounds roughly at the moment. So I've lost quite a bit of weight, which is not the goal. The goal for me is to gain weight, ironically, so for someone like me who's 146 pounds, I would times that by 11, which would be somewhere around, yeah, 1,600? Yeah, something like that. And I'll times that number by my metabolic rate, calories. So 1,600 times 0.45 it would be for me on the chart. Someone in their 20s, and with a fast metabolism, would be around the 0.45 area. So 1,600 times 0.45 would be around about 900 calories, let's say, yeah, to be simplistic. So 900 calories for my metabolic rate and my age range, and 1,600 for my resting caloric intake. So you add them two together, which equals 2,500 for simplicity purposes. And then once you've got that, you know where you are in order to maintain your current weight. So you won't go up in weight, you won't go down. Once you're there, you've found out where you can go from there, and it's your choice. So there's 3 goals once you've found that out. One is to lose fat. One is to maintain where you are right now. quite happy with where you are. And the second is to gain muscle. You can't convert muscle into fat in different tissues, which is a common misconception. Am I going over time, by the way?
Yeah.
Probably. I should end it here, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say.
Have you got a conclusion? Have you got a
I
message?
do, but like, I need a lot of work, to be honest. I think we all know that.
Well done. Well done. Nikki?
Right. I just want to say well done, Harrison, for coming up and giving a speech, because it can be quite scary. I liked you a little bit at the beginning where you were saying about your glasses so you can see the fit. That was quite funny. So you had your cards. No, very interesting. I like your shuffling skills, that thing that you're doing. You did say that you're going to explain that we'd see the relevance in the conclusion, but unfortunately we didn't get to that, so I'm still wondering what that's about. That would be quite interesting to know. So I thought your voice, you've got a nice voice, a nice speaking voice, and you come across really open, really friendly, and I think maybe, I don't know how long you worked on your speech, or if that's your first speech?
Less than 24 hours.
That's
This is
an,
my first
okay.
speech.
Okay, no, that's absolutely fine, because you're brave enough to come up here and just give it a go. Yeah, so well done for that. I felt like my wish, maybe not get too hung up on your numbers. Okay, because I just think maybe with the time that you'd have had for your speech, maybe we didn't really need to know about that, and just talk about like the bigger picture of the fitness and how, because you said you had you knew a lot because you'd experienced. You talk about your walk that you'd done, and maybe you could have just shared some of the things with us that we could have used to for our goals, because you asked about our goals in the beginning, and maybe not so much about the math side of things. So that's my wish. But my biggest congratulations is for you to just come up here and have a go. So well done. Anybody else want to say anything? Stella?
Yes, I think you have a great voice projection. Your level of voice was very good. It's very easy to hear, and it's very easy to follow you in the pace. I will make, my wish will be to make it a little bit more simple. As Nikki said, just something that is easier to follow, something that you experience, or easy steps, so that you don't get caught up in the thinking and people don't just get lost. But I think you have a great body language, and you're very natural, just like the way you lay down on the floor. For example, like something that I struggle with is maybe having those big movements, and you did it so naturally, and you carry on speaking, and we could still hear your voice with a good breathing, so I thought that was very good. And it's just practice.
Yeah.
Alistair?
Well done for getting up there. The first time I actually turned up here, I actually had like a panic attack, and I went out the room. And I didn't even do a speech actually. So congratulations for getting up there. You had less than 24 hours to prepare. It's a really gutsy thing to do. There's a lot of positives actually. When you got into it, you had a very, very relaxed body language up there, like very casual stance, one hand in your pocket, walking around a bit. It's really promising. You already look that relaxed already. The other thing I noticed is, as Nikki pointed out, you were using cards in the beginning, and I thought you looked really skillful with a set of cards in your hands, like the way you were shuffling them.
Yeah.
Have you practiced magic a bit or anything, or?
Because I was cardistry. Do you have cardistry?
No, I don't know what that is. But I was thinking, like, you looked so good at it, you could have maybe incorporated it a bit more throughout your speech. It might be something we could see in the future for you, like your second speech or something.
Yeah, maybe.
What else? The only wish I have really is, I can tell you've read so much. I was agreeing with all the science you were telling me. That all adds up. But like me and Stella both have this, we like bombard the audience with information. So my only wish is for you to maybe select 2 or 3 things, focus on those as your main points, and then pad that out into a 5 or 6 minute speech. Because there's so much information there, gets hard to remember everything that we've been told. So select the 2 or 3 best bits and work on that for us. But well done for getting up there. There's a lot of really promising things. Thank you.
Tony?
I don't know if we push for time or not. I'll try and keep it brief. I think for me, you had moments of pure natural flow, and you had moments of being in your head. And I think the two were really kind of apparent, if that makes sense. You kind of started thinking, how am I doing? Is everyone liking it? And that's how it felt for me anyway. The times when you were in flow and you were just kind of flicking the cards around and so casual, so natural, so relaxed, you look like you've done several speeches already, and never mind just 24 hours to prepare. But the times you were in your head, you were really in your head. What wish would I have for you? Spend more time in the kind of flow. With all respect to everybody, ourselves included as an audience, and anyone else you would speak in front of. Because if you speak at Toastmasters, there's going to be typically 20, 30, 35 people sometimes. So it can feel daunting. But just, if you think about just giving value and sharing what you know, what you're passionate about, and I say with all respect to anyone listening, myself included, don't really care what they think, because it's none of your business. You can't affect what they think.
Yeah.
All you can do is show up, as Alistair mentioned, be present, be you, be authentic, and just share what you've got. And then I think from there, people will naturally tend to like and appreciate what you give. On a separate note, I don't know if this is a time or not, this is selfish. Just be honest. Part of the thing, one of the books that I'm doing is a conscious leadership book, as we all are. And in it says something about mentoring. If you're open to the idea and you would like to have someone mentor you for your first few speeches, that would be my wish. I would love to be that guy. If you don't, then great. But the offer's there if you want it.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Cool.
Thank you, Tony.
If I give you an introduction of, I looked at the washing machine and the washing machine looked at me, you know who's coming next. It is Tony with an I. I'm shivering. Before I begin, I just want to say thank you to you for inspiring this. I had nothing to say before I walked in here, but when I closed my eyes, this came to mind. Ladies and gentlemen, don't lose faith. Don't. An elephant and a dog got pregnant the same day. 3 months later, the dog put to bed. Puppies, 6 puppies, and 6 months later, got pregnant again. 3 months later, on the 9th month, I put to bed again. Set of puppies, 6. And it got to a point that the 18th month, the dog went to the elephant and said, "Are you sure you're pregnant? We got pregnant the same day, so how come you've not? Is anything in there?" And the elephant said, "Let me tell you something very interesting. You see, the thing is, what I'm carrying is not a dog. It's not puppies. It's going to be called elephant. No matter how much you've given birth, I still carry mine, and it's going to take a while. And when mine comes out, it is going to hit the ground, and the earth will feel it. When it passes, people will notice that this is not just an animal, but it is an elephant. I don't give birth every 3 months. 6 months, no, I don't. I give birth once in 2 years. And when I do, it is noticed. Ladies and gentlemen, it comes a time in our life when we carry things. And I want to break them down in 3 points. Number 1 is a pregnancy. I mean, we've had speeches a lot this evening about goals, about joy, about dream, as well as health and fitness. But here, I'm going to talk about you don't lose faith. You know, when you have something in you, a pregnancy, Show of hands, please. This kind of been the norm this evening. Show of how many of us have been pregnant before?
With an idea? With an idea?
Literally. Pregnant before. And how many of us have impregnated before? Good. So, you know, it is very interesting biologically, chemistry, and when you're impregnating, Netflix and chilling, and at the end of the day, the conception comes in. Now, the initial state of just thinking about it, conceiving it, and bringing out something in mind, the goal, or the dream, or something to pursue, to work on, it just comes to mind and you say, yeah, this is it. Just like the dog or the elephant, you conceive, you hold it, you hold on to that thing that, yeah, I'm going to see this through, I'm going to follow. This is a stone. According to, I can't remember his name now, he said, don't be a wandering generality, be a meaningful specific. Just have something you pursue. So you have this conception, you have this pregnancy, you've got impregnated, you've got this thing in you. Now how do you see it through? You know, when you get the first day of pregnancy, you don't even know anything. The first day you conceive an idea, you get so enthusiastic about it and say, yes, this is it. This is why I'm here. I'll find my place. And now I'm going to make sure I get there. We all have this notion on the day we hugged or sent somebody a wish on the first day of this year, 2016. And every other first of every year that have passed. And we come to this day, the 1st of December, and we look back to that time and say, how much more have I followed up that I said I was going to do? The conception or the idea or that thing I thought I had that I'm going to follow. At the end of the day, number 2 point is how you carry it. The first few periods of pregnancy is quite tricky. You're so uncomfortable because the body tries to get used to it. The same thing applies to your goal. When you've got it, when you've got the idea, you become kind of very enthusiastic and you kind of try to acclimatize yourself to what you've got. So you push towards it. You give it a go, you give it your everything to make sure that, yeah, you're going it, you're doing it. But ladies and gentlemen, do you know that it is so hard to be consistent? The most difficult part of it is the difficulty involved to be consistent. It's just like saying you're going to have a glass of water every 12 o'clock every day. Yeah, just a glass of water, 12 o'clock, 12 noon, every day you're going to do that. Saying that is something. The first few days is easy, but after that, you're not going to say, I missed today, the next day, 12 o'clock, I'll take 2 glasses. No, just one. So keeping to it, that is the difficult. How to carry it, and how do you carry this? If you had a big reason why you first of all have that in mind in the first place, the big reason why you got impregnated in the first place, or the big reason why you impregnated somebody in the first place, I think that you can see that through. Myself and Harrison were just talking this evening before we started about having a strong why, a real reason that if your why is big enough, then you can go through any how or any what, or wherever obstacles or circumstances may fall in place. So your ability to carry that goal and see through is very important. Not tomorrow, not today, not whenever. They said the most important time to have planted a tree was 10 years ago. The second best time might be 5 years ago. But the next best time is now. And if that tree is going to shade you from wherever it is and become in 10 years' time, is your ability to nurture it. Make sure you stand guard at that tree. Drive all the way and help the tree grow. So, we've got dreams. Some of us have been pregnant now, and some of us have left so many things behind that we've not seen through. How much more are we going to do about it? Are we going to look back in 2 years' time and say, I wish I did that. I would have been a different me today. Or are we going to look back, instead of explaining, we'll be celebrating? I just want to leave you with this, that the thing is, when you are able to have a dream, an idea, something worthwhile to follow. And you've been able to see it through, you carry it. Irrespective of whatever circumstance that may have come your way, you actually worked on it. No matter what anybody thought about it, the dog might come again and say, are you sure you're pregnant? Are you sure you had an idea? You don't bother, you just make sure this is something that you're passionate about, you continue to see it through. You might fall, you might rise, whatever it is, you just keep going. But the day will come that the longest night in your, the most successful day in your life, that you say, yeah, today is the day I'm giving birth. Today is the day that elephant will walk on this earth. Today is the day that this elephant will pass. And everybody will stand by and say, yes, this is magnificent. And ladies and gentlemen, that is that day I think, yeah, your song will not just be a story, but will be a story for victory. Thank you.
As ever, what a brilliant speech. Who could connect a pregnant elephant, a dog giving birth every 2 minutes, with following your dreams and your goals? I liked at the beginning, you grabbed my attention by actually starting, the elephant and the dog got pregnant the same day, and then carried on with the story. I think if I was to say, and I mean, you're a very accomplished speaker, there's not much I could actually offer in terms of wishes or recommendations. The only thing I could probably suggest is that probably just a little bit more vocal variety, occasionally. You have a look back on the video and then you can decide for yourself. You did emphasise certain things, but again, at times I think it could have been a bit more impacting. Sort of grabbed our attention. Apart from that, I thought stunning. Certainly since he's made it up in the last 6 months. Would anybody like to say anything else?
I think you already have.
No.
I like, there's not really much to add to that, apart from I like the provoking topic and pregnancy spoken by a male. That's interesting. So.
Yeah. Anybody else like to add anything? Tony?
I absolutely loved and I'm reappreciating the pauses. I sometimes forget the pauses, but the pauses are so, you know this, that's why you do it, but they're so powerful and they're so, they say more sometimes than the words say. And I loved the eye contact. The eye contact looked like you were looking to my soul. And I don't know how other few people felt on that, but you literally came here and you stood, and you didn't look at me, Tony, you looked at me beyond this bee, if that makes sense. There was a heart-to-heart, this is my experience, but there was a heart-to-heart connection. There was no logical connection, there was no intellectual connection. It was just all heart-to-heart. I believed every word you said. I think it's your best speech, like a different league than anything I've seen you speak about before. I thought it was brilliant. I really, really learned a lot, so thank you for sharing that with us.
Thank you.
No wish at all, just loved it.
Anybody else?
Good.
We've got time? I'm going to need this.
When you are eating with my grandfather, I'm not giving a speech, I'm introducing. When you are eating with my grandfather, you don't touch the meat. You don't until you finish the food. Rest his soul now. So, ladies and gentlemen, you always save the best for last. Giving you this evening, don't be all cold. But when he speaks, the chill will be over. You shall feel it. I know that. Please, can you put your hands together?
With an introduction like that, it could only get worse. I'd like to start by asking a simple question. What does true grit actually mean to you? Just shout out. What does it mean?
Resilience.
Resilience?
Getting through tough barriers.
Getting through tough barriers, anything else?
Determination.
Determination, sorry?
Perseverance.
Perseverance. Some people might say it's just telling your other half that you've dented the car. But I'm going to tell you a story about John Surtees. For those who don't know who John Surtees is, he's the only man to have actually won a world championship on 2 wheels and 4 wheels. If you look at him now, he's a nice old geezer, sort of about 90, very frail and very delicate. But if you saw him in his heyday, in the 60s, he was a very determined young man. In 1960, having won his 7th World Motorcycle Championship, where he's got the world at his feet, he gives it all up, completely. He says, I want to race on 4 wheels and win the World Championship on 4 wheels. At that point, he goes to sort of the garages and he gets a drive in an uncompetitive car, and he gets the attention of one Enzo Ferrari. Now, for those of you who don't know who Enzo is, let me take you back. Have you seen the film The Godfather? Yeah? And you see, what does the Godfather wear? Glasses. He always wears sunglasses. And he always stouts about with that air of Italian arrogance. Yeah? That is Enzo to a T. It could have been made for him. So Enzo goes to John and says, come and work for me. John says no. What? He turned down the best team in the world, the most famous racing team in the world. John turned him down. Ferrari doesn't go asking twice. When he asks, you say yes. But no, John said no. A couple of years go by. Ferrari have an actually dismal season. And then Enzo goes and asks John again. Because John, by that time, realises it's not just about raw talent. It's like it today in F1. It's about having a competitive car. So John joins Ferrari. Great. A marriage made in heaven. Probably the best driver at the time with the best car. John gets to work, working all the hours he can, working on the new bodywork for the new sports car, cutting out bits of wood, dripping oil over it, and then getting sort of blowing winds so you can get the aerodynamics right. He spends a vast amount of his own personal time getting it right because he knows he wants a winning car. And then comes the first race in Sepang, the 12-hour endurance race. Now, every godfather has an enforcer. Enzo's enforcer was Giorgio. Forgive my pronunciations, I'm not Italian. And Giorgio was your typical arrogant Italian. He took his leadership skills from Enzo, unfortunately. So, John had worked on his car. He gets to Sepang with his co-driver. And Giorgio says, you're not racing that car. No. You race that one. And he gave John's car to a couple of Italians. Why did he do that? Who knows? He may be just teaching John a lesson. And the point of the story, as I'm going to come out to in a minute, is you don't let the weeds of others grow in your own mind garden. So what would you have done if you worked hard for about 4 months on a car, on a project, and had it swift away from you just about when you were about to take it? How would you feel? Yeah, pissed off, angry. Yeah. John wasn't a saint, but let me assure you of that. He was stomping around. Now I can't remember the chap's name, but his co-driver, Luigi, said, come on John, come on, have a beer. Things will be right in a beer. So a few beers later, they have a sort of think about it. I mean, sort of, while we're here, let's just race into this crap heap anyhow. So they go back to the garage about 10 o'clock at night and start working on this car. First thing they notice is the body parts, because it's a Ferrari, don't fit. I mean, Ferraris aren't renowned for being reliable, are they? Expensive, but not reliable. So the body parts don't fit. So they start tuning around with it, and about sort of early in the morning, they get something resembling a car. Comes the race day, it's 12 hours. They start off. First problem, they're driving there, they're getting blasted by fumes. If it was the gas inspector would have come, they would have closed it down, the gas boiler. They've got carbon monoxide poisoning. So as soon as they take their first stint of 2 hours, John nips out, he goes round the back of the garage and throws up. He actually has got carbon monoxide poisoning. To cut a long story short, against all the odds, John and his co-driver win the race. You thought, great! He's celebrating, the mechanics come out, and it's a bit of a family there. Because it's the killing years. It's just a success to actually survive a race like that. So it's the killing years. So everybody grabs around and they hoist them up, and we start taking them off to the winner's enclosure to give him the cup and to give him the bottle of champagne. Then a whisper comes along. And there's been an inquiry, a steward's inquiry. Someone has complained about the result. They get closer, and they see Duroghi going there from Ferrari, obviously protecting John's interests. No. When they get there, they find that Duroghi has made the complaint. His own boss. It's a bit like the England football manager going up to the ref at the end of the game and says, "We didn't deserve to win that." Disqualifies. He was asking for John to be disqualified. He claimed that John had done one less lap. Fortunately for John, his girlfriend, who had been keeping times and tallies, reduced her record, and it tallied exactly with the stewards. So John was awarded the race. To say that was a marriage made in hell is a certain truth. But there's lots of other stories that go on. But again, he doesn't let the wings of others cloud his mind. And that's the point I'm trying to bring out here. And it goes on. In 1963, he wins the World Championship for Ferrari. In 1964, he has an accident. And Duroghi uses that to kick him off the Le Mans 24-hour team, even though he is their lead driver. And he says he's all right. With that, John gets in the car. Yeah, 12-hour drive back near to the base near Milan. To have it out with Enzo. They have a big row because no one disrespects a godfather. Even though John may be right, he's not going to win this. Both men would later rue that argument. That's when the weeds of others clouded his mind. Legend would have it that John said, his passing shot, "Enzo, they should have just made you the bloody Pope." Okay? Pourquoi? Because then we'd only have to kiss the ring. Sorry.
Wow. I actually forgot I was timing.
That's all right. I went way over. I should have done.
Yeah, what a presentation. I mean, you just did this in about an hour as you came in here?
I knew the story. I'd forgotten bits of it, and I should have gone through it before and timed it because we didn't get to the other bits of it. So
It was such an excellent presentation. Your body language, your vocal variety, your ability to connect with individuals here seated listening to you. You took us on a journey from the beginning by telling us about if we know certain characters, and you described the Godfather. You took us back to the cartoon, the Godfather, and you described him and how you related it to the entire story of not allowing somebody's greed grow in your own mind. That is powerful. And it took it to the end of the story. That was very, very good. I don't know how to fault it other than the timing, but then I think it was an excellent presentation. If I want to just give you a little bit wish is that I think if you're going to tell a story or you're going to build a topic around the story, I think it should be a little bit like 2 minutes in your introduction. You should just tell the story about 2 minutes. While the remaining 6 to 7 minutes, as the case may be, should be the body, and the last minute a conclusion, if that is okay, depending on the time allocated to the speech anyway. So both, I think that the presentation was pure journey.
Yeah, I think that it was awesome. You have awesome skills. My wish would be to spend more time in the content. Because also, even though the story was great, it was more given to us to grasp the conclusion of how it got to what you were trying to say. I don't know if you saw the video of Lisa Nichols that I put on Facebook. I showed it to you before, the art of speaking. She basically says like use story, content. So you could have used something like start your story, explain the content of what you want us to take from it, and if you want, you can finish with the bit of a story. But yeah, I think it was missing a bit of content, but it was great. And the other thing would be the end could be a little bit stronger, because I felt like people wasn't sure that it finished. So, but yeah, it's amazing. It was amazing anyway.
Yeah.
I just want to be really brief in this one. Of course, it was great, like vocabulary and body language, but something that I have like a wish is maybe think about the sentence, typical arrogant Italian. For me, it feels, I don't know, it just depends on the audience, but you never know who has grandfathers or grandfathers. Well, whatever. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. I shouldn't have said that. Yeah. You're right, I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start off by saying, that was a really great talk. It was a great demonstration of all the speeches in the manual, competent communication manual. Couple of stars, great eye contact. I can see you making eye contact with everybody. Your hand gestures were nice and controlled. I remember when I first saw you earlier this year, sometimes your hand gestures could get a bit, just a bit wild sometimes, but it was very good tonight. The only wish I have though is, this is me being so picky, is Tony gave you such a great introduction, and then you came up here and you said it can only get worse from here. Or something. It was a joke. It was a funny joke, but I feel like you're good enough now to get a great introduction like that and just go up there, get up there and own it. That's the only wish I have.
If I can just say, that bit was I was going to mention, is like Tony gave you a roaring introduction and everyone's going like, wow, and you kind of diffused it. And I think you should have just owned it, because you are an amazing speaker. And what Zia Mara said, that was the only other point I was going to make, was about the typical. I know it's kind of I think it was meant or said in jest. However, you could really piss someone off. And it's just such a throwaway comment, I think that's the only thing I would kind of change, maybe. I thought it was a great speech. Really enjoyed it. Great story as well.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
I thought it was a great variety of tonality, which was really nice. So I'll add to that.
Okay, thanks.
Nikki?
There's a camera.
I really enjoyed it. Thank you, Jeremy. And it's really brave of you and off the cuff like that. And I thought you did that really well. So well done.
Okay, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, friends, in quotes. I know this is the last actually speaking exercise of this session. So before I introduce Jeremy to close this session, before we have a party. No, you're going to do that. Yeah. Before we're going to have a party, I just want to throw this back to the house. Do Anybody or persons want to say anything so far about his or her experiences? Yes, please, Tony.
I was hoping for, really looking forward to, and still am, that Nikki was going to give us a final speech. Maybe selfishly.
Yes, please.
Yes, hands up for a speech. Unanimous. 3. Introduction. You'll thank me later.
Tell us about your boy, your new house.
Yeah, you told us you were in the name.
Well, that goes on. Like, if I just go, I don't know what to say.
Just pause, just smile. That's what Hitler did. He used to pause for about 2 or 3 minutes in his speeches.
Right, so it might be a long night.
Come on, welcome, Nikki.
Good evening, everybody. So my speech is going to be called Flip It. Okay? So have any of you ever rocked up to a public speaking group and thought, oh my God, I just don't know what to say. I don't know what to talk about, I have nothing to say, I have nothing interesting. Anybody ever experienced that? That's me today, right now. So I'm going to flip it and talk to you about why I have nothing to talk about. And it's because my brain is absolutely wired. And the reason for that is, well, actually, there's 3 reasons. The first reason is because I work full time, and you probably all work full time, so it's not the best reason, but it's one of them. And this is the time of year, Christmas time, being a teacher, that everything is manic. It's nativity, 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 school reports, parents' evening, assessment, and it's not just people think that teachers work from 9 till 3 and have all the holidays off. But it's just not true. We get to school at 6:30, 7 in the morning. We get home at like 6 o'clock. We're working till really late and working the holidays. We just don't switch off. It's constantly going round and round and round and round. But you know what? We get to see children, we get to see them grow, we get to see them learn. And we don't just deliver academic content. We get to teach them how to be good kids, how to have manners, how to make friends, how to deal with problems, how to persevere, and how to learn from their mistakes. So that's me flipping my job, being one of the reasons why I don't know what to say tonight. The second reason is I had a really good idea, Stella. I dreamt big, and I thought, I'll do another degree. So I'm doing another degree, and I'm in mid-essay. So I'm trying to write this essay, and it's about problem solving. Do contextual factors have an influence on problem-solving skills? Well, I really don't know yet. I'm really trying to find out. I'm reading all about it, and I'm trying to read really quickly, and maybe I might come to your friend's seminar, Jeremy, and might help me out with that. So that's another reason. But you know what? I'm really lucky because I get to learn. I really get to see the privilege of learning. Some children, some adults don't get the privilege of education, so I feel really lucky that even though it's a little bit overwhelming at times, I've got the opportunity to do that. So I'm really grateful for that. Thirdly, my son is a Sea Cadet. And about 2 months ago, they were really thin on the ground for staff, and they were going to have to close the club. Now, I've seen my son grow in confidence. He's developed leadership skills through going to Sea Cadets, and it's really lovely to see. So I don't want the club to close, so I said, I'll do it. So Tuesday evenings I teach Sea Cadets, and I'm so over the Navy. I'm really not into it anymore. I don't find it exciting at all, but you know what, it's not just about things like tying knots and thinking about what badges mean as saluting officers. It's about these young teenagers developing their leadership skills and growing as people. And I get to see that. And on Tuesday, I went to do football with them. And I got to be in goal because I didn't have a goalkeeper. So I had just come from work, so I still had my work clothes clothes on, I had heels on, and I'm in goal, and it's freezing cold outside, I'm really cold. And I saw this one boy who really struggles academically, learning the sea cadet stuff. He was absolutely on fire, playing football, and he saved me from having to say some scary goals. I was like, oh my God, the ball's going to hit me, it's going to really hurt because I'm freezing. And he was there, and he managed to keep the ball away, and I just saw this side of him, and I thought, that's your thing. You are awesome at that. Yeah, you may struggle here, but you know, that's your thing. And I get to see that as well. So even though all these things have made my head chock-a-blocker and I've not known what to talk about tonight, there is a flip side, and I flipped it because all those things have a really positive edge to them. And I heard somebody saying, you might know who it is because I can't remember, that in all adversity there is a seed of equal or greater benefit. And that's what I'd like you to take away from my speech tonight. Thank you.
Well, I'll go back. God, we certainly saved the best for last, didn't we? Yeah, that was awesome. Absolutely awesome.
I like flipping it.
Yeah. I mean, just came up here and actually gave us it sounded really polished, as if you'd actually practiced it. You used vocal variety, you used body language. I was thinking, oh, and sort of, I've volunteered, used, you know, vocal variety. There was lots of great movements and great sort of sentences in there. And you had a nice clear structure. And you led to a conclusion which we can all take away from. We can all learn from your experiences. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah. Would anybody else like to say that?
Everyone's hands up, lad.
I'll let Alison go first.
I've got a question. Did you prepare at all for that?
Just like now.
Oh, your secret. That was really that was really good. I'd like to get that up. One day.
You will do.
One
Just
day.
keep coming. Just keep coming to Toastmasters and keep practicing.
Can I sign up? We'll do it after, but I'd like to sign up as soon as possible.
Yeah. You coming next Thursday?
I'm on receipt to that.
Yeah. Mona will sort it out.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just going to say that you are amazing, like absolutely natural. How can you think so fast, like you can speak, do body language, change your tone to match the meaning, and be funny at the same time while you're trying to construct a speech? I was like, oh my God, that's just, like I want to absorb all of those superpowers. And it was brilliant. Even though that I thought, oh, she might not be able to finish with a strong ending, and then you just found a strong ending somewhere. Like, now I want to give you this. Finish. I was like, okay, that was great. It was brilliant. You are so natural at that.
Yeah. Well, obviously you're a natural speaker. That's how you can do all whatever those things. So that just obviously comes with you as a talent. I don't know if it's because of you're a teacher or it's just you just were born with that, but that's awesome. But what I enjoyed most actually was the fact that you had a very clear structure. And even though you didn't have time to prepare or whatever, you didn't allow yourself to just wander off when you were into the ideas. You kept tying it back to the general idea. And it had it was very easy to follow. At no point I felt lost or I felt something didn't connect with the rest. And obviously it's because you must have a very clear idea of how the structure works. You really took for yourself the 3-point things and you've been really paying attention to that. Let's give someone something to take away, because even that's what you say, but I wanted to take away. So yeah, I thought that was great. And that was like the big star for me, was the structure and the actual content itself.
3 words. So in flow. That's it. Just brilliant.
Can I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you always do this? I just want to ask you a question. After doing that, how do you feel?
I don't know.
Were you expecting that kind of result?
No, I didn't know what was going to come out. I kind of had an idea that I just really didn't know what to talk about. I had nothing to say. So I just thought, well, I'll just use why I've got nothing to say to talk about that, you know.
Do you think your teaching helped? Like talking to people, like quite often, in practice?
Possibly. I mean, I teach small children, so it's very different to talking to groups of adults. That's why I come here, because I find that really nerve-wracking. Children, it's different. They don't.
That's interesting.
They're not going to say, "Oh, she's talking about."
I think speaking impromptu is magic when you are able to pull it off. And you feel this kind of less burden on you when you do it. First and foremost, your ability to just go out there, or you're sitting down having a time to scribble, I think is brilliant. Idea just begins to... I came in here brain dead when I did mine. I think we had the same thing. And now I think I know why Tony always do it. Because more often than not, Tony comes in here with loads of ideas and nothing prepared. But when he stands up, he gets something. I think now I know why you always do it. And your output is always very, very good. And I think it worked for you this evening. It worked for Jeremy. It worked for me. I don't know if we should start doing this, it would be good enough. But however it is, I think that your skill set is just enormous. More often than not, we don't know how much we've grown until we kind of just produce something like this. Listening to your speeches over time has been very, very good. And I think this one, tonight you'll go home, lie on the bed with a pillow, and you're going to say, yeah, you're way better than the first time you came to Hallmark. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What has been your experience of doing the SW? Have you enjoyed it? Do you want to say anything, sort of anything you want to say about it? Or go on.
I just want to say that for me, it has been a little bit weird because on Thursday night I always fall asleep smiling, which is so weird. But that means that this group is just so great because we can experiment, we can just try different things, and there is always this bond between us. And I think that's what I love about this experience. I cannot explain how different I feel from the icebreaker when I was like, oh my God, I don't know, I'm so nervous. Compared with today, so thank you all of you, it was great.
Stella?
Yes, well, this experience for me pretty much it gave me life again. I think I would say light me up. Talking about going home, when I arrive home on Thursday, my husband will be half asleep, open his arms and just tell me how happy he is that I'm coming here. He just said, like, I'm so happy you are you again, like you're full of life and you're full of energy, and I just want you to keep going every day. And part of it obviously is because I'm actually doing something that I love, but I don't think it's only that. It's the fact of the group and how we've connected and feeling that someone understands a bit of my world and that we have something in common, the like-minded thing. And feeling part of something has been great for me, so thank you, all of you, because you've made my life a little bit better. You've made my world a lot better. So thank you for that. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Alistair?
Yeah, actually what's most interesting to me is when I first came here, I think I mentioned this to you before, you know, just driving here was a big thing for me. Like, that was in my anxiety would hit me as soon as I opened the car door. And I just found those journeys here so stressful. But tonight, I actually felt no anxiety coming here at all. The only time I felt a bit anxious was when I was trying to find a place to park my car. But yeah, I tell you what, I just love like how we've connected with each other, and I didn't know there was this many people out there with similar ideas to me and that passionate about improving themselves. I think that's probably one of the biggest things I've got out of all of this. And yeah, I've really enjoyed the experience.
Nikki?
I think it's been brilliant. I mean, at the beginning, there's been so many times I just thought, oh, no, I can't go because I'm really scared of speaking in front of everybody. And then I come and everyone's just so inspiring. It's such a really nice